All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Targeted Individual CJBK live here in Battery Park, New York City. Anywho, I gotta say, this past week has been a very interesting week as far as when it comes to people and he got, I don't understand it. It's like he got a whole space right here and gotta be in a bike lane. That don't make no sense to me. Anyway, not to let that mess with my mood, because I kid you not, I think I have definitely done something, but it is no permanent, like it is not like the ultimate solution, but I'm gonna tell you this, it helps a lot. Okay, granted, I'm riding on an e-bike, I'm using my phone and got all the location settings on, and the Bluetooth is on, and data, and you got the Amazon app is requesting data to be sent and all that. So hold on. All right, I'm back. Just wanted to drop off those last two stops. So I guess I should tell you what I did to make myself feel revitalized and possibly almost like brought back to an equilibrium until maybe 3 routes ago. Anyway, 2 routes ago. So, yesterday I decided to, I took my, radiation detox salt bath. Remember that's about a pound. It depends on the size of your tub, really, or really how strong you're trying to make it. But really, you only need up to about a pound of sea salt, baking soda, and then I use about a cup. I use about a cup of borax in my water. People love taking their chance in a bike lane. But anyway, about a pound of sea salt, baking soda, and I'd say about a cup of borax. Now remember, these 3 ingredients are only salt. Different forms of salt, but that's all they are, salt. And very natural salts at that, right? So I took my bath, right? Then what's interesting, a friend of mine that I'd known since before my targeting even started, he told me that starting close to almost about a month ago, someone actually tried to V2K him. Or maybe they did, but I guess he's a little bit more, I guess, advanced or trained in certain things because, he's a veteran. But he told me that someone tried to implant a subliminal message in his mind to, let's just say kill someone, right? Yeah, so someone had tried to put a subliminal message into his mind telling him to kill someone. But because he's already been practiced in certain telekinetic things, and he used to be in the army, he said he did something to him that had them basically feeling like that they were falling in his never, and I don't know I forgot how he described it, but he said he did something to them to make them, I don't know, feel like they were I don't know, trapped and falling into something, and then all of a sudden he said he could not hear them anymore. So I'm just taking him for his word, because I mean, I know he's done some things. He showed me some things, like oh right, now my phone wants to die. He showed me some things where, and it was just at 30%. Now it's at 10% out of nowhere. Anyway, he showed me some things, and like he showed me how to actually use his hands to generate heat and energy to actually relieve pain in the body. So he showed me some stuff like that too, and that was during my targeting that he showed me that. But anyway, so I took my bath, and I don't know, I felt really good, right? Then like I normally always feel really good after the bath, but I even slept pretty well too. Oh right, so the other thing that I do now, like I told you, I've also put a little bit of sea salt, baking soda, and borax, and dissolve it in some water. Like I just took a pot, heated up some water, and I dissolved sea salt, baking soda, and borax in it. And then I took some shea butter. I think you could probably use cocoa butter too. I don't think I would suggest Vaseline. I've heard some things about petroleum jelly, so I wouldn't really use Vaseline. But you would want to use something that's very high in nutrients, that when it gets absorbed into the skin, it's nothing but healthy things, right? So I took the bath. Yesterday I took the bath. Then I put the shea butter salt water mixture onto my skin, and I went to sleep with it. Now I think I could say I slept pretty well, because I actually went to bed. I was really tired. I went to bed around, I think it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I think it's like 8:30. Then I woke up at 3:28. Woke up at 3:28, at least an hour before my alarm, and then tried to go back to sleep, but couldn't go back to sleep, because at that point, I think they were busy trying to transfer energy harvested from my girlfriend's body, sending it into my body, causing me discomfort. I don't know if they're trying to reprogram my neural pathways or something, but every time, whenever it's usually like the people I'm around the most, that's where they have the strongest resonance. So they've been using like my girlfriend and her son's body as like batteries to basically amplify the signals that there's, that they're sending to my body. Now, remind you, this is most likely happening to almost any and everybody who may be targeted, right? Even for those who may not even be aware of their targeting, this is something that I've been noticing, is that people are the weapons themselves. They don't have to have a phone on them. They don't have to have a device, like an actual handheld device or anything. They literally just need to be within within your area. They just need to be around you. Damn, my phone about to die. All right, I'm gonna just finish this when I get home. Yeah. So I'm back home, and I am going to try to see if I can start off from the top. Anyway, so last night, today is what? Today is Wednesday. So I was off work yesterday, and I told myself I wanted to take a nice radiation detox salt bath, to try to see if I can strengthen my body back or whatever. But I mean, it did help. It helped. Those are the three culprits there: baking soda, sea salt, and borax. And people just need to know this, because some people would just think like, oh, that's a cleaning solution. Oh no, we're about to right there. Sodium bicarbonate, salt, sea salt. It's a natural salt, and it's sourced from Italy, so it has a lot of good nutrients to it. And then you have, let's see, borax, sodium borate. Now, these are just salts, right? They're only salts. Now, what I do is, like I said, I take about a pound of that. I buy this from BJ's, and this is already 2 pounds. So, I mean, sometimes I'll use half, sometimes I might use a little less. And then as far as the borax, I probably won't use a whole pound of it, but what I will do is I'll probably use, I'll probably use about a cup. I was trying to see if I had a measuring cup in here, but let's see, this is 1 cup. Yeah, so I would use like 1 cup of borax, right? And then I would just dissolve that into some hot bath water, and then don't mind my dishes. I just got home. Someone be like, well, you shouldn't have dishes when you go out. Well, shit, you take getting radiated 24 hours a day and having 4 people demoralize you all day and night long, and you see how often you want to be washing your dishes or making sure everything stay, clean and neat and whatnot. But anyway, so, right, dissolve it in the bath water. I like to use a wash rag, so when I get in the water, I'll actually like scrub, not like scrub, but just, nice little, just to open up the pores a little bit more, and then soak in the water for, website recommends about 45 minutes. I normally do an hour or a little more. And it's most likely a lot helpful if you could actually not have the electricity on in your bathroom. So like for me, this is our normal routine. We only have 3 of these for the whole apartment. This one here is for like the kitchen, that controls the light and the stove. This one here, this is for the lights, like in the living room, in the bathroom, and also the outlets. And then this is just the fridge, right? But I'll tell you that the areas where you probably get hit the most are this here kitchen, because those light bulbs in there are LEDs. We didn't get to change those out. That light bulb is an LED. We didn't get to change that one out. And then that one is an LED. And every time we turn on any one of those 3 light bulbs, it's almost like I could literally feel like I'm being like charged like a battery. And then at some point when it feels like I'm too full, I would feel bloating and then heating. Like it will be like, well, the vibration, that's the first thing I would know. So like, yeah, I'm gonna flip the camera. So, what was I gonna say? Dang, I just wanted to flip the camera and all of a sudden I forgot what I was gonna say. But anyway, so like even like right now, of course you got the phone. The phone has its own field, and yeah, the phone has its own field, and they have multiple like waves of energy coming from the phone, and they all kind of like merge. It's like they all kind of merge and come together, like all in this, like this air. I don't know what this area is when it comes to the W band and artificial neural networks, but this area right here, there's a lot of activity, a lot of data or electrical activity right here, and then it comes into the brain. All day today, even though I took the bath and I felt pretty good, this is the next part I was supposed to show you. So after the bath, right, I'm gonna show you my little thing that I did, right? You get a pot. All right. You could use distilled water if you would like to. You could use distilled water if you'd like. Distilled water, it's going to be probably one of the more not purified, but more, I guess, cleaner waters, because if it's distilled water, they basically removed anything that could be in it other than water. So that's what distilled is. So I got my pot of water here, right? I'm not really trying to bring it to a boil. All right. Let's see. Yay. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. Borax. Borax is probably going to take the longest to dissolve because it's a much more coarse salt. So, as far as the borax, I think I don't know, I never really measured it out, but I think I put about this much. So I would say this is maybe about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons. Just drop that in there. Right. Sea salt. Sea salt. I'd say maybe another 1.5 to 1.5 tablespoon. Throw that in there. And then now the baking soda. Baking soda. I got baking soda. All right, now the baking soda, I'm probably just going to take 1 heaping tablespoon. Drop that in there. Now remember, I'm not necessarily trying to bring it to a boil. I just want to dissolve the salts. Okay, so put these away. Oh my goodness, I need. Ooh, yes, clear. Oh my goodness. I don't know how many of y'all drink alcohol, but a beer after doing physical labor jobs, it just hits differently. Like, it just hits. Anyway. All right, so now so we don't necessarily need it to boil, we just want to dissolve these 3. How are you looking? It doesn't have to be hot, you just want to dissolve it. Okay. Now, after you dissolve the water, right? Okay, that should be good. All right. One thing I'm going to tell you right now, okay? It is probably very important that I say that when you take the salt bath, make sure afterwards you drink water. Drink, like, whether it's spring water, distilled water, purified water, out of whatever, alkaline water. Drink water, because I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna lie, I do struggle with drinking water, but you know, I'm realizing I'm gonna have to start pushing myself to drink more water, because from the heating of the radiation and then me doing the salt baths, they also recommend that, you know, on the website where I got the recipe for the bath, that you drink plenty of water after the salt bath too. Because salt can dehydrate the body, but it's like you gotta be in like an excess to dehydrate the body with salt. But yeah, so now, ooh, that's too hot. But one thing I will tell you this, right? The moment you put your hand in that water, you're instantly going to feel something, like it's going to be like this sensation. It's going to shoot from the hand straight to the brain, and your brain is going to be like, oh, you're going to feel like you're being powered down. Now, here's what I've learned about what salt water can do for the body. Salt water, if you were to get into a bath or get into a pool of salt water, natural salts, draw like toxins out of the body, almost kind of like a gravitational pull. Like it literally draws out toxins from the body. It draws out charges. It can draw out charges in the body and bring your cells to an equilibrium. So it's like, what a lot of people need to understand is when we're being targeted, they're basically overcharging the body. They're taking the energy from everything around us. And let me say this too. Okay? Every metal is weaponized. Every single metal that you see in your home is being weaponized against you. How? You got to understand, we're talking about nano-sized capacitors, antennas, or if you want to just call it nano sensors, or call them nanobots, whatever. But they work as a capacitor, meaning they can harness and store energy, and then they're also a combination transmitter. So they can harness energy, right? Store the energy, and then retransmit that energy, right? This is the nanotechnology we're talking about. Now, you also got to remember, nanotechnology is nano. You will never see this with the naked eye. Some of these videos that you probably see online where they're talking about like the fog and all these different things that's like flying around in the sky and it look like dust and stuff, that's probably, I mean, that could be nanobots, but I'm also believing that's also just like chemicals and fungus and molds and stuff like that. And then not only that, I've also found out that they do have some nanobots that have been constructed from molds and fungus. Isn't that interesting? So this is why I've been pushing a lot more for people to start doing fungal mold, parasite, and heavy metal detoxes, because these are all those four things. This is what they're using against the human population. At least those of us who are not fully augmented and we're not like, we don't, those of us who don't have access to our digital twins, we're fighting for our lives. We're fighting for our lives, and we have to deal with people who can't even like conceive or actually think that yes, there is a populace of people or entities. I'm gonna call them entities because right now they're trying to change the definition of what it means to be a human. Or rather, they're actually changing almost every human on the planet so then they will no longer be human, which would basically take away human rights from people because technically, if they augment you away from your most natural state, you won't necessarily be human anymore. They will have transhumanized you without your consent, basically taking away your human rights because they'll say, oh, well, you know, you got this inside of you. And I mean, but they're not going to come out with this stuff anytime. At least, well, you know what? Let me not say they're not going to come out with it anytime soon. But I am going to say that they do not plan on letting people know that they are already transhumanized. But I am fighting for humanity, right? The best way that I can without ending up in handcuffs or in a psych ward. So the best thing that I could do is use whatever means that I have come across that is not breaking any laws to try to help people. And it's funny because the V2K, they're like, Chris don't help nobody. Chris is selfish. And I'm like, it's crazy because I've never heard those words said about me. Like, before my targeting started and I became more and more tired and more exhausted because, well, obviously my body is experiencing radiation sickness for 24 hours for like the last 4 years of my life. So it's like I've been experiencing radiation sickness through electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves and fields. Right? So, now, dang, I don't forgot where I was at. So it's like right here, I need to get another haircut. But here, I need to get like a really, really short haircut because I want to start pinpointing on these spots where I have dents. Like there's actual like dents in my skull. And these dents are very pronounced and they're about like this size. They're like, let me see. If I could find something that could demonstrate the size of these dents that's in my, and then some of them almost feel like they try to make like a like a like a canal or something. I don't know, like there's like a whole ridge and like I don't know, like they've definitely reconstructed my skull using this technology, because you got to remember we're talking about infrared that can be amplified to a point where it can cause burning burning and intense vibrational sensations inside, like either on the skin or to the bone or to the tissue that's underneath the skin. And it's like, you got to remember, it's kind of almost like, so let's say, all right, you see this spot right here? Let's say they want to, let's say this is like my whole thigh, right? Let's say this is my whole thigh and like this is the bone. They can make it so that when the beam resonates, let's say they're trying to get here, right? This is the outside of this is the front of my thigh, the back of my thigh. This was not really even, but let's just say this is the bone. This is the bone of my thigh. But they don't necessarily attack bones. I realize I haven't really felt too many bone pains or anything, but they do attack joints and muscles a lot. joints, muscles, ligaments. The bones are probably being slowly deteriorated anyway because of the radiation exposure. So let's say they wanted to, they wanted to hit me here, or I don't know, possibly weaken the bone here. They could literally have the resonance there, and the light or sound waves will pass by everything else without causing any issues to these areas, and then it'll connect here, and then you would just start to feel this slight tingling at first, and then it'll increase into a heavy vibration, and then all of a sudden this discomforting burn starts to develop. Though you wouldn't necessarily feel anything along here, like your tissues and skin, you wouldn't necessarily feel anything there. You'll just feel like there's something hurting you all the way into here. But even so, let's say if they wanted to get to like the I don't know, the muscle to the outside of the bone or something like that, or let's say if it's a ligament connected to a bone or something, they have the ability to make sure that it can penetrate without touching or hurting anything else and get to where it gotta go, and then it will just heat up in this spot, but everything else will be all right. Now, one thing I have learned is just because it passes through the outside, it doesn't necessarily mean if you don't feel it on the outside, it won't leave a mark. I've learned that it will leave a mark. The marks, right? The marks will kind of seem like, let me see, is this good lighting? I'm trying to see. Trying to show you the chest. Okay, yeah. So all of these you see, I don't have, let me go into a different light. Okay. All right, yeah, so this is bad. So I don't have skin problems. I never really had skin problems ever since I was like a teenager or something like that. Hell, not even in college I had skin problems like that. It was mostly when I was like 13 or whatever. So you see these dark pigments, like you see, especially that right there. You see all of these little dark pigment areas right here? These are basically like insertion points. These are like places where a wave had basically passed through and heated up, different parts of the inside of the body. And they done hit me in so many different places, especially like solar plexus. Yeah, you can see along the solar plexus here, there's some marks there. Not the long scratch one. That one, I probably got that from work. But some of these like more rounder or kind of splotch looking, those are signs that I was basically hit with a energy wave, or in a resonance went through the body, and it caused that the vibration, the heating. It actually caused, well, I guess you could say it burned the skin. But what I want to do is I want to cut my hair again. I'll do it before I go on my trip. I want to cut my hair again so that I could really get a good look at my skull, because I feel like they have done the absolute most, and I could tell my cognition has been deteriorating. But anyway, can't remember what else, but yeah, so that's that part. So it's like right now I feel a lot of pressure all right here, memory cortex. So anytime I'm trying to remember something and I feel pressure build up on the right side of my head, they're deliberately trying to make sure I can't remember certain things. But anyway, I'll just move on. So This is the salt water, right? The moment I put my hand in there, I could feel like I can almost like literally just put my hand in it. I could feel my grip stronger. And you saw what I put in there. It's baking soda, sea salt, and borax. I could literally feel my grip stronger again. So what I do, I take that, all right, and then I showed you all this before, but this is African shea butter. I prefer this. Some will probably use cocoa butter, but I would not use petroleum jelly. And what I would do is I'll take some like this, put it right in my hand like that. Right. And then what I would do, I would just rub it into my hands, and then I would just put it over my body just like this. Now, the part that actually made a lot of people worried was because, all right, now the shea butter actually helps keeps you moisturized, right? Now, if you were to have just put the salt water on by itself, once it dries, if you just put the salt water on by itself, once it dries, you're going to see the salt. It's just like when you come from a saltwater beach and you get out the water and you're out the water for a while, what do you think you're going to see left over? The salt. So what I do is I take some shea butter, something fatty, mix it in with some of that water, and then I rub it onto my skin. So as you can see, not only do I look nice and shiny, but you can tell that I'm not going to end up looking, I'm not going to look salty because the fat is still moisturizing the skin. Now, the one thing I've also learned too is because salt naturally has this ability to, is it, not going to say, well, I guess, what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? It's not that it rejects energy or something. I don't know. It just kind of like has this adverse effect where like I don't know if some of you seen matter of fact, you could probably look it up on YouTube. Just look up like it's like a red hot metal ball versus pink Himalayan or pink salt, right? Basically they took this metal ball, right? This steel ball that was like heated up to 1,000 degrees, and they put it on top of this cup that was filled with sea salt, right? And they let it just sit there for, I guess, well, they did do a time lapse, but they just let the ball sit there. And as it sat there, it just got cooler until it turned, cool, right? It wasn't hot no more. And the person picked up the ball, and you see like a couple of pieces of salt stuck to it, but then he points the camera down at the salt, and basically nothing happens to the salt. So I was like, okay, that just gave me an idea. So I was like, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dissolve some salt in some water, mix it with the shea butter, and I'm going to put the shea butter, salt, whatever. I don't even know what the word to call it, but I'm gonna just take that, mix it together, and rub it on my body. I went to sleep with it, and I believe it helped quite a bit. I went to bed earlier than I normally do. I think I went to bed around like 8:30. Most of the time, I'm always trying to stay up because I don't know, like I just like being up. But I don't know. Before I was targeted, I was always so used to like working even evening jobs, or if I had to be up in the morning, it wasn't no damn 3-4 o'clock in the morning. This is actually kind of new. of my 30, 35 years on this earth. But yeah, getting up at 2:30 in the morning, there's it's no getting used to that, and it's terrible because with the gang stalking, they know that's a tough time to get up. So of course they're going to basically radiate me while I'm trying to sleep. You know, my girl too, because she has to get up, for work too. And then not only do they just radiate us, like we'll turn all the switches off. We'll take all the fuses out, and there'll be no electricity in the apartment, right? Except for, I guess maybe the phone, but we put our phones in a Faraday box, but we could still feel some of the energy seep through the box. Oh, everything that has a magnetic strip, all cards, anything that has a magnetic strip, you need to put that shit in a Faraday box or a Faraday bag. I've also learned that even if your TV is unplugged or your air conditioner, anything that has a motor or anything that can store or hold static electricity or charge, that thing has to be like put somewhere, or do what I do. Get you some Kapton tape and start putting it on things that they can actually charge the metal with. So, and just a reminder, the Kapton tape, I use Kapton tape because Kapton tape is really used in electronics and NASA to help reduce electromagnetic interference. So let's say this screw right here, right? Because the nanobots have, attached to it, or because there's a electromagnetic field from the electrical wiring of this switch, the charge from the wiring can go to that screw. So what I did was I took the Kapton tape and I put it on top of that screw. I guess in a sense you could say I'm trying to smother the electromagnetic field. I'm not sure, but shoot, like you can see, we were not playing. Well, I wasn't playing. And it's funny because you see how I got them on the ceiling? Now, on the ceiling, I got them on the ceiling. I got them on the walls. The reason for that is because, one, there's probably like, okay, so like this outlet, where is it? Where is the outlet? Okay, so like that outlet right there. Of course, there's electrical wiring behind this outlet, and it probably runs up, or I'm not exactly sure how it runs, but yeah, so I cover those. Then also, because I'm in an apartment building, have to take in consideration that other people have electrical appliances and devices in their home too, but we don't know what they have in their home. So what I figured I did was I would basically put a piece of tape on wherever I felt a wave coming from. It could be anything from, like, somebody could possibly have like a mounted TV right there, right? It's not like you're gonna go next door and be like, hey, can you unplug your TV at night? No. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of Kapton tape, put it right on the wall. So then if the society is taking energy from someone else's TV next door, and then they're resonating it with our body and here, maybe that piece of tape can cause some interference. But like I told you, I use my hands to try to find where a wave is coming from. Actually, shoot, I feel like I don't think I felt this one before. You see, there's no tape there. Yeah, there's something right here too. But anyway, I probably won't feel it. I probably won't feel it later once I turn the fuse off for it. But anyway, oh man, okay. But yeah. So I rubbed that on. Right, went to bed, and I woke up at 3:28 a.m. And like I had picked up today's shift, and it was for 6:30. So, but it was interesting because I woke up at 3:28, and I felt like, I don't know, like I felt pretty good. But then I also know that they were that like it's weird to describe because it's like after you put it on your body, and I mean put it on your whole body, hair, face, neck, chest, arms, back, legs, get your feet, get your toes, put it everywhere, right? One thing I noticed while doing this is that first thing you're gonna notice is you're gonna feel cooler. And I mean it makes sense because if salt naturally can keep from burning when a metal ball of 1,000 degrees is placed on top of it, I'm assuming that if you were to put like a salt base, butter on your skin, if something hot is trying to, I guess, pass through or connect to your body, it will interfere with that. And even if it does penetrate through, because I mean, obviously the AI technology can probably adjust to however many attenuations or interferences they may be. Just lost my train of thought again. So right here now, there's like a wave kind of shooting out this way. Let me see. It shoots out this way, but then it feels like it's coming back. Like it curves, and I think it's actually going towards the back of the head. So, I don't know, like I noticed I get attacks here, and then I get attacks like back here, something going in back there. I don't know, there's like all these different spots where there's energy waves going in and out. Yeah, so I woke up at 3:28, and I was like, oh, all right, I'll go back to sleep. Even though I didn't necessarily go back to sleep, because I don't know, for whatever reason, they would not let me go back to sleep. It was too much going on. It wasn't pain, it was just this pressure. Like, it wasn't pain I was feeling, it was just pressure. Like pressure of like a lot of vibrations going on in the brain. Or and then like the back too. And it's so sad because it's like I love my girl, but dang, like it's hard because I don't have the ultimate solution to remove these devices, these nano devices from her body, because that's what they're using. They're using these devices to harness energy from her body and then convert the electrical impulses into radio frequencies and then transmit through a resonance into my body. Then the bots that's in me take that energy, those radio frequencies, and convert it into electrical stimulation and then overstimulate me. And then, not to say it doesn't go both ways, because sometimes they use like a kind of like a seesaw effect with us. Like, it'll be like, okay, if I'm feeling good, she won't be feeling good. So that would, if to me, I would think that, oh, so they must be taking energy from my body and putting it in hers. Then if I'm not feeling good, she's feeling all pippy and happy and whatnot. And most of the time, that's because they're taking energy from her body and transferring it into mine. And then, yeah, so that's that part. What else? There goes that pressure again. They're trying to make me forget. And it's all right here. It's all right here. Now, every time they keep talking about Chris got a big ass tumor in his brain, every time they mention that, right? There's always this, it's like there's a wave. There's like an energy wave that's penetrating directly in this spot right here. And every time I hear them mention something about a tumor, it's this weird blockage feeling that I have that's right here. And it's in like, and I think I heard Sabrina Wallace say at one point something about people think that they got people thinking that they have tumors in their brains or something like that, but it's actually the frequency or the resonance or something. I forgot, but I don't know. I'll have to look up that video. But anyway, yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think I said everything that I needed to say. Oh, right. So, yeah, got up before my alarm. I laid down for about an hour, and then when I got back up, saw it was 4:20. I was like, oh, might as well just get ready for work. And I went to work, and you know what? I picked up the shift. It was for 6:30 to 12:15, and I was surprised. Actually, no, let me go back. After I got up, I took another shower. I took a shower, and let me tell y'all. Get y'all some Dr. Bronner soap. I've never felt more satisfied of seeing dirt come off me until I tried Dr. Bronner soap, because for whatever reason, that Dr. Bronner soap, no other soap I've ever used. I mean, of course, it's concentrated, so that's another reason too, why I probably see so much come off. But like, I've never seen so much dirt come off my skin, other than when I use Dr. Bronner soap. And I'm not a dirty person, but it's just when you use Dr. Bronner soap, you literally look down at the tub, and you're in the shower. You look down at the tub, and you're like, that really came from me? And it don't matter if you didn't go outside at all that day. You didn't do nothing. You like you could have took a shower this morning, been home, haven't really done much of anything. You ain't go outside, you ain't bust a sweat, you ain't do nothing. Take a shower later that night with the Dr. Bronner soap. You'll be surprised how much stuff still comes off. And remember, Dr. Bronner soap is 100% natural. Everything in here is just straight up like stuff that you could just literally get from a health food store or the supermarket. Well, we got water, organic coconut oil, potassium hydroxide, organic palm kernel oil, organic olive oil, organic orange oil, organic hemp oil, organic jojoba oil, organic lemon oil, organic lime oil, citric acid, and tocopherol. Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, and this one here is the hemp citrus scent. But yeah, took a shower, and after I took a shower, you can either dry off or you could just put it on while you're wet. take some of this shea butter, put it in my hand, and just dip my hand in here, rub it, and I just went to town, just tried to cover every inch of my body. And I kid you not, I'm walking down the street and my body just feels like I feel like I was feeling right. I was feeling right. Like I felt like I had a whole new body. And the interesting thing is, you can still feel the resonances that they have. You can still feel them trying to cause pain, but for whatever reason, it's almost as if like they're like, you could feel like an energy, like if, let's say if they were trying to attack my neck right here, right, I would feel pressure kind of try to build up, like I could feel the heat try to build up, but then it just, it's like I could feel them trying to amplify the signal to cause more discomfort or whatever, but then it's just like, so I don't know, I just working on some things, trying to figure out natural ways to try to get through this until we could get some legal help, or some type of divine intervention. But anyway, and I'll tell you, my girl, she likes to actually make a solution to wash her hands with. She also uses it to wash with too. Here we go. So what she does is she'll take borax. She'll take some borax. I think she put baking soda and sea salt in here too. I think she only does borax and sea salt. Maybe it's just borax. And then she'll just put a whole lot of the borax in there, and then just mix in some water, shake, and then she'll scrub her hands with it. Now, the scrubbing, it actually works pretty well. I actually need to scrub my hands too. Well, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, this cold weather is not doing my hands no justice. And I think the way I think they've been attacking my hands. I think they've been attacking my hands with this energy, because it just seems like whenever I get like a cut or something, it takes forever to heal. And oh my goodness, I don't know how many of you live in cold regions, but it seems like when you get cold, like your hands get cold, or your feet or toes or whatever get cold, it's like they take that as an opportunity to amp up the pain. Like I don't know, it feels like if you're being targeted, the cold feels a lot more painful than what it normally would feel like. But yeah. So yeah, I was feeling good. I did my 3 routes. Matter of fact, I was feeling so good. I finished my 3 routes at around like 11:35 or 11:40, and I was like, damn, I feel good. I was like, shoot. Most of the time, I'd be dead tired and I don't want to do another route. So I asked my dispatcher, I was like, hey, one more route or no? They was like, oh yes, please. Can you do one more? The 1 to 3. So I was like, all right, cool, bet. So boom, go and bust out the 4th route, and I'm still feeling pretty good, right? Now the funny thing is, in my mind, I started to think to myself, I was like, okay, I did the 1 to 3 most of the time. I try not to complain too much, but it's like, I realized that I like to try to see if I could get the later shift, right? Like, see if I could come in a little late, because I think a lot of times they always need a lot more help after 12 o'clock, because I don't know what be going on between that 12 and 4, them 5 hours, 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to, yeah, okay, yeah, 4 hours. Them 4 hours, right? But it just seemed like there's always some help needed, man. And, I don't know if they understand that when you target it and you're being sleep deprived, because it's like imagine you're trying to be in a deep sleep, and then here comes a signal out of nowhere, and next thing you know, it jolts you awake, and you're like, oh. And if that's not enough, they're probably, if they don't just jolt you awake, there's a pain that they sent. There's a signal that they sent to cause you pain that jolts you awake. Now you're tossing and turning, or they could just be radiating your whole body and you just feel hot. Now you're tossing and turning, and then here comes the fucking alarm at 2:30 in the morning. And you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't get no sleep. And then now you gotta be on this bike, an e-bike, where that's gonna be used as a weapon against you too, because I realized that the battery literally sits like right under me. Like when I'm on the bike, the battery basically is sitting basically under the seat. I could literally feel a resonance going through the bike seat and connecting to my, well, let's call it my Lance Armstrong, and it's like I'll be pedaling, and I could feel my right testy going like this, like it's like this, and they most of the time they always attack one or the other. They hardly ever attack both at the same time, but it'll be that one, and it's like this, and it feels like it's swelling, and that resonance is usually coming from the battery of the bike. Then of course the phone would have the Bluetooth on, the location settings on, what else? The data. Amazon gotta have access to the camera, Bluetooth, data, all these different things. And just so you know, all of your apps are basically open to be, all of your apps basically have vulnerabilities that allow them to gain access into your phone. And I think a lot of people be wondering, I just got this phone. How do they hack the phone? Most of the time, it's probably through the app. It's probably through an app. Most of these apps got vulnerabilities, and they get into your phone through the apps. Now they calling me the stupidest nigga. I mean, I don't know nothing about technology. I don't know that much about cybersecurity. So that's why I speak like this, waiting for someone to correct me. If no one corrects me, then I'm just gonna assume I'm right. I don't care if somebody wants to be an asshole about, oh, that's not how it works, idiot. I don't care if you want to be if you want to tell me how it actually works, fine. Be an asshole about it, but be right when you say something. Be right when you say something, So, but yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's a lot of pain. It's a lot of pain. So I did the fourth route, and then here comes, well, the fifth one. That's when I think I overstayed, because the fourth route I did, which I kind of expected to do that one, so I wasn't as I still felt good after doing the fourth one. Then here comes the fifth route. The fifth route, I'm just like, they was like, yo, can you do one more? And no, they actually just sent it to me. But then again, I didn't see the text message, but they had already sent it to me. And I was like, fuck. I was like, it pissed me off. Because I was like, yo, the whole purpose of me coming in later was so that I probably won't have to do another one. I mean, technically, I don't have to do any extra ones, but I don't know, call me a nice guy. Someone say, nah, Chris, you a pussy because you letting them use you. Well, that's the V2K. They be like, you letting them use you, da da da. Or you letting them drain all your energy, da 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 da. Whatever. At the end of the day, I'm thinking to myself, two reasons why I still do the extra route, even though I know I don't want to do the route. One, I could tell there is some things happening internally with the company. And because, yeah, I could tell there has been some things happening with the company. So this is me trying to be a team player. I don't want for us to lose any more contracts. So I will go the extra mile that I know most people will not go. And it's sad because I pay attention to almost everything, even though I don't say anything. But I pay attention to things. And I'm just like, I hate the idea that it feels like I don't think I'm being selfish at all, but I hate the idea that it feels like, damn, it always seemed like they depend on me, like they look for me. They just like anytime they don't have enough people to cover routes, they just like, oh, we know Chris is gonna get, we get Chris, and it's like, if I wasn't being targeted, it probably would be nothing for me. Like, cause before my targeting, I used to work doubles. I used to work. I am not somebody who's afraid to work. I'm not someone who's afraid of hard work. But that was before my targeting, though. That was before my targeting. And it's funny because they always be trying to, like the V2K, they always say, oh, your supervisor's watching your video. Oh, your supervisor got people watching your video. Oh, people know you be talking shit. Oh, and I'm like, look, ain't nobody saying nothing to me, though. And then they're like, oh, nobody's going to say nothing to you because people think you crazy. And I'm like, well, that's on them. How you not going to talk to the one who possibly could be telling you something to save your life one day? Oh, right, because I'm snitching on people who are committing a genocide on the human species. These entities are committing a genocide, right? But don't talk to him because he's snitching. He's snitching on the secret society. People aren't supposed to know about the technology. People aren't supposed to know about being uploaded to the cloud. People aren't supposed to know about this and that. Don't talk to him. Don't mention anything. Da, 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 da. I'm just like, in my mind, Lord, you still got me here for a reason. I'm like, you still got me here for a reason. So I'm like, okay. And then I watch all these other people who are doctors and tech experts and stuff, and they're all fighting the same fight that I am. So it's like, I don't know, they always try to make it seem like I have some audacity to think I could be a hero. It's like that's what it feels like. It's like the way they talk to me is like I have the audacity to think I can save people's lives by telling them information that they shouldn't know, or they're like, oh, you don't know how to protect nobody. Da, da, da. But I'm like, first step to learning how to protect yourself is awareness. Oh my goodness, you see all that? I used to never get these like that. That's how I'm starting to believe that, yeah, the body is constantly trying to get rid of stuff. I used to never get these like this. And I mean, you see how white it was? Anyway. So, what else? yeah. So boom, I go. I'm like, all right, I go and I do the fifth route. I go to get and collect my bags and stuff, and then it's funny because I get there and I'm like, yo, I see like three other people pop up, and I'm like, wait a minute, is it really that busy here? Because I'm like, why am I here? So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I go do the fifth route, right? And then I start going in my mind. I'm like, all right, I finished the fifth route by like, hell, it was like I finished it before, like almost an hour before the window closed. Then all of a sudden, I get a phone call. It was like, yo. At first, I said no. I ain't gonna lie. At first, I said no because I was like, nah, I'm tired. Because I was like, I knew that fifth route. That's the one that brought me down. That's the one that brought me down. Cause like the fourth route, I was still feeling, good from the bath and everything. I still felt energized and whatnot. But then the fifth one, that one took me down. Then here comes a sixth route. I'm like, oh no. After that sixth route, even though it wasn't even a far route, it's you know what it is? It's the exposure to the radiation. It's the exposure. By that sixth route I did from 6:30 to about the time I clocked out was about 4:30. I was exposed to so much radiation. I was exposed to so much radiation, and it's amazing because, um, like those of us who are being attacked, we're going through something that I don't think we could wish on our worst enemies. Most of us, um, and it's to do what I'm doing. This is not easy at all because I'm literally exposing myself to more radiation just to make money. I mean, yeah, I've been telling myself it's probably time for me to start looking for it. I mean, now, so now what they're doing, where is it? It's here. So now, if I pinch there, yeah. So now they have a resonance going right into my heart, right? It's going right into the heart and it's coming from the bottom of the phone here. But it's probably also merging, yeah, because it feels like it's merging also with this light bulb here. So now it's like two different waves that converge together and come right here. But like I told you, somehow none of that happens before it comes up here first. I don't fully understand it, but it seems like nothing really happens to the body unless it comes up here first, and then something happens up here, and then it kind of like, pew, you know, everything happens up here, then it's like, pew, 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 and then you just start to feel the heating and discomfort. But anyway, yeah, that sixth route just took all my energy. Like I thought I was gonna at least go home still feeling good. Nah, I just got drained out. I got drained out. So that basically means I'm gonna have to take another bath. Most likely won't do one tonight. But I'll probably end up doing one. Let me see. Today's Wednesday. Maybe I'll do one Friday. I don't know. I try to at least get a bath in before I have to do consecutive days at work. But anyway, yeah, I mean, but I'll tell you, let me see. I think they're probably trying to prove a point because I did put some other sea salt and shea butter there. But then again, I haven't taken a shower yet. And that's something I think we need to also take in consideration, that every time you go out, and this is something I also noticed too. Every time you step outside your home, you're taking a risk of basically absorbing more nanobots into your body. Now, I'm not trying to make people afraid to leave their home, but what I'm going to tell you is when you do leave your home, you need to remind yourself constantly that when you get back home, you need to wash. You need to wash it off. You need to wash it all off. Because I was wondering how come I was feeling that build up there, but then, of course, the phone and the light. But then I also haven't taken a shower yet. I haven't taken a shower since I got home yet. So I still need to do that. And then before I go to bed, right after the shower, do this. Try to have myself, ready for a good sleep. But I think that's about it for now. I've been talking to you for over an hour now. I'll keep y'all posted. Anything that I learn, I try to get it out to y'all so that y'all can, I don't know if maybe you could advance something that I did and do something better. But as always, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.